Hey, John here. I am one of the drivers that's starting Rideshare Studio, so I guess it makes me one of the founders of Rideshare Studio. Um, we're going to be doing these profile videos for drivers, for those that are participating, so you can kind of get to know the driver a little bit, and this is mine. Not a huge fan about talking about myself on camera. It's a little weird to me, but for the sake of this project, we're going to give it a shot. So, like I said, my name's John. I drive for both Lyft and Uber up in the Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington area. I am a relatively newer driver. I have about 600 rides between both platforms under my belt. So I'm not super brand new, but still pretty new. Just new enough to still be new, but I've done it long enough to be able to figure a few things out. And I'm hoping there's such a lack of information up here, like in the Vancouver, Portland area, for drivers after you get set up. I'm hoping maybe that I can share some of the stuff that I figured out, and then maybe it'll help you. Or maybe help encourage some of the aspiring drivers who are thinking about doing this, jump on board. I can tell you that I love doing rideshare. It is fun. It's probably one of the funnest things I've ever done. Every day is a new adventure. You don't have to be super outgoing or anything for this to be fun either. I will tell you that maybe I like the last 200 rides that I've done. I've had one bratty teenager and one guy that was kind of obnoxious. That's about it for a bad ride. So if anyone's looking for like negative stories and stuff, you're probably not going to find a whole lot of that here. I'll tell you a little bit about my equipment. I do drive a 2011 Nissan Altima. It gets about 37 miles a gallon on the freeway and about anywhere between 21 and 25 in town. I am looking to upgrade, but we'll talk about that in another video. I run a Galaxy S8. That's my primary device. I run a blue Vivo 5, which is actually both my cabin camera and my black box. I do that so I can record all sorts of little tidbits of information about my driving, for, like, you know, in case there's an accident or an incident or something I need to report. The cabin camera is awesome though. If you aren't running a cabin camera, I highly recommend that you do, because it makes everything so much better, especially like when you're doing like the pub drives and the club drives and stuff like that. I used to get some of the younger kids in there that get pretty excitable in the back seat of the car and stuff, and I found that it makes everybody kind of behave a little bit. I would say maybe out of the last like 600 rides that I've done, maybe 2 people were annoyed with the fact that there was a camera in the car, in which I just press the power button so they can't see their faces, but it is posted all over my car that, you know, I have cabin cameras, so hasn't been an issue. So I would definitely say you should go for it if you can, if you got an extra device. The black box app that I use is free, but we can get more into that another time. I do plan on adding a dash cam setup so I can get the exterior views of the car. That's both because I plan on doing some blogging, guys, and because I like having all this information about what's going on around me while I'm doing this. I run split screen on my Galaxy S8. I'm not running a third-party app to be able to run both the Uber and Lyft app. I know some people like use Maestro and some of the other apps that are out there. I don't. I found that doing it manually is better for me, especially after you get used to like the button sequence and stuff, to be able to swap it in and out and turn them off, like when one gets red and the other doesn't, etc. I have found that up here in the Northwest, you kind of got to run both platforms if you want to really maximize your earning. I am a semi-full-time driver, meaning that I do it anywhere between 6 hours a day to 10 hours a day. Kind of just depends on my circumstances. My full-time gig, I am a professional web developer and graphics designer. I love doing rideshare in between projects. It really lets me cherry pick the projects that I want and skip the ones that I don't, and make sure that I don't have dead spots of like no income between projects, as I am freelance. Honestly, rideshare is so fun, I just do it full-time all the time, but I'd have a hard time justifying the income difference between my, you know, $69 an hour doing web development and the $25 to $30 an hour I probably make doing rideshare. I say 25 to 30. You always hear drivers talk about like ranges and stuff, and the truth is because it's as profitable as the driver is efficient, and I'm not always super efficient, but I'm trying to get better at that and really maximize my profits, and hopefully we can kind of go over some of that together and maybe even encourage some conversations. And if I'm doing something at any point, any of my videos that's stupid or wrong, or you feel like it could be done better, I'd love to hear from you, because I'm always about improving my experience